So Parisienne Walkways by Gary Moore. This is from his 1978 album Back on the Streets. Just such a great song, you know. Really nice guitar playing, especially in the live versions where he gets that just epic tone from, you know, the Les Paul, the Marshall just cranked, and just great guitar playing. And if you click that I there, or the link in the description box below, it'll take you to my website. And I always do a little article on these songs with like behind the scenes stuff and song facts and whatnot, right? So definitely check that out. Anyways, we're in the key of A minor, and let's just go over the chords first. Okay, so we've got A minor, we've got D minor 7, we got D minor 7 over G bass, and then we've got C major 7. It's like a C chord with your first finger off. And then we've got F. And sometimes that F is an F major 7. So you get that open E string. And then we've got this chord, which is kind of the money chord of the song, right? It's B minor 7 flat 5. And, you know, I think that voicing is probably the one most guys use most of the time. But he's playing it like this. And what that is A2, open D, G2, B3, and E1. Okay, really, really nice voicing. And then we've got E7, okay, with our third finger off, right, just like playing that, but with our third finger off, and then back to A minor. Okay, and then later on we've got that little run there, but we'll go over that in a minute. It's just arpeggiating, right? It's 6/8 feel, so it's 3 down and 3 up. And then we go to the D minor 7, 3 down, 3 up. And then we go to the D minor 7 over G. We hit the G note there in the low E, and then we go to the G string. And then open D. Then we do that little F to E to get us to the C major 7. And that is the last 4 strings, right? And then the middle 4 strings. All right, then we've got the F. And now we've got our B minor 7 flat 5. Okay, and changing from F to that might be a little weird. I mean, it was for me for quite a while because like I never play that, you know. That's just a chord I very rarely play. So it takes a little bit of muscle memory to get that together. But if you're making that change, or when you're making that change, if you just focus on getting that first one, right? And make sure you got the open D. And if you listen real close, I think the first time on the original record, you know, Gary Moore, he actually mutes out that open D string, right? You can hear it. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So what I do is I focus on getting that one down, then I focus on getting the second one down, and then I kind of put the last 2 down. So you know, so you sort of give yourself a bit of time to get your fingers in this kind of different position. And then we've got E7. So we got low E, and then starting from the D string. Okay, then we're on the A minor. And then we've got that, which actually is how the song starts, and I forgot to tell you that. Anyways, it's easy. It's just the A note on D7, then A7, and then E8. It's just root, 5, 3rd, minor 3rd, right? Okay, now the second time through, he doesn't do that, right? He just goes to the C and then arpeggiating from the G string. it's just once on the B minor 7 flat 5. And then we go to this E7, which we've done before, but we pick it a little bit different. The first time we went, right, low E, D string, G string, B string. This time we're going to go low E, D string, G string, and backstroke E, B, and G. Right, so we've got. And then we hit this A chord, right, which I kind of failed to mention earlier. And this is kind of really similar to, well, it's not similar, it's exactly the same as Europa, right? You know, where they go major, right? It's in the key of C, but it's the same trick, right? Where you're going from, you know, you really want to hear that minor, right? But they don't. They go, you know, they go to major there, which really is kind of a weird twist. And you've got this lick here. Okay, so we're just putting our fingers on D4 and B2, just the old Keith Richards thing. So. And then to here, right? E2. And then there, right? Just little finger on B5 and E5, right? And then we get into the solo, okay? And the solo is the same thing. The C, like that. But we do an F major 7 there, right? By just having an open E string. B minor 7, flat 5. Right? And that's doing that second variation where we're getting that high E string in there. And then we go to the A minor. And then we do this, right, which is really a cool twist. And actually, I never even noticed that until I started transcribing it, right? So we've just got it's like A power chord, right? And then we're going to put our first finger on D3. So we got that, right? You know. Ending on that A7. Okay, and that's kind of where I left off with my demo, but that's like in the live version he goes into a whole other sort of a solo thing, which I didn't really go over in this version here, but that should cover it for you know, it's 99% of the song there, right? And you know, that chord there, that'll be the trick for most guys. They'll struggle with that chord, right? So we're up here in the A minor kind of pentatonic position 4 sort of area, and we're going to do a full step bend on the 15th fret of the B. No vibrato in that note, right? And that's the thing about this solo is some notes have vibrato, other notes don't, right? So, you know, he was always very tasteful about where he put that vibrato, and by using it, you know, sparingly, not all the time, it had so much more effect. Right, that's 14, 12, 10 on the G. I'm not going to call a lot of frets on this one because it's not super complicated. It's mostly getting your vibrato, getting your bends and your tone together, right? Now that lick there is you hit the E string on the 12th and then bend up to the 15th from the 13th on the B. And then you put vibrato on it. right? And then that note again, but with no vibrato. Little trill there on the G string. Full step bend on B13 to B15. And a lot of these phrases, you trail out the end of the phrase. Then, no vibrato that note either. Right, another trill. 10, 9, 7 on the G. Then we finish off with make sure you hit the F note on the G string there on the 10th fret. So we've got root, 5th, minor 3rd. And then we repeat it. But now it's got a harmony on it. So the harmony is up here. That's the 18th fret, full step bend. And then we mirror that by hitting the 17th of the E, 15th of the E, sorry, then the 17th of the B with a half step bend with vibrato, right? Then I mean, you can just feel your way through this because it's not complicated. Like I said, it's mostly just getting your tone together, and your feel. And then we've got, that's 13, 15, 17. No vibrato. And then we just slide that down to get the major third, the A chord. Okay, so that's the harmony part. Now we've got the leads. So the lead's going to start like this, coming out of that note. We're coming from this note, right? The A note on B10. Then we're going to go, make a little noise, And we've got 14, 15, 17. Then we hit the low string. And he does that a lot when he plays live. He hits these low strings. And when you're playing by yourself, it just doesn't sound good. But in a band situation, that is filling up a lot of space and adding a lot to the intensity of the solo. Right? Slide that out and then hit the low E string. And there again, right? That's 12, 13, 15. And you hit the 13th of the E string. And then you hit the low strings twice. To get you into that full step bend on the 16th. And then a full step bend on the 15th. And then you sort of, on that note, you get the pitch, right? Then you add the vibrato later. That's, to me, that's a real important note of the solo. And that's hard to do. It is for me anyways. So right, let's trail it down then. just 10, 12, 13. Trail that down. Then we've got, okay, and on the original recording, he's just going to go, you know, just single notes, but some of the live versions, he does that. And I really like that, so I did it too. Right, just open, 4th, 5th, 7th. Then full step in with vibrato on the 9th of the E. And before we do the trill, we're going to hit that open E string. Right, then flip the pickup. It's a tricky lick, right? So let's break it down. Real slow. And he plays this so clean on the record, right? Really, it's tough to do. So just a full step bend on the 8th. Like, I think of it as 3 licks. That's your first one. Right? That's the second one, which is just a Chuck Berry thing. And the blues note, flat 5, 4th, minor 3rd. So that's 2 of them. And then the last one is pulling off the A string to the open. So all together. Again. And then up to speed. And I'm getting some noise in that lower section, but you know, once you get that in with the track, you don't notice that much. Okay, and that's it. That's the solo. It's fantastic playing by Gary Moore. Always just loved his style, and you know, to me, he was like the epitome of, you know, that sound, that tone, the Les Paul, the crank Marshall, and his vibrato, which, you know, I mean, he had one of the best ever, right? Just fantastic guitar playing. And that one part where he's you know, he holds that note, and you know, you can't do that. Like, I play through a speaker emulator, so you can't do that, right? But if you can get, you know, your amp cranked and you get in just the right spot between your speaker cabinet and your guitar, and you mute everything real good, you know, you'll get that. You get that endless feedback where you get that, like, that heavenly kind of note coming through, right? Just awesome. Anyways, I hope you get something out of this lesson. I hope you enjoy playing this, and yeah, we'll talk to you next time.